الحمد لله الذي أنزل على عبده الكتاب واحلم يجل له عوجا أحمده سبحانه وتعالى وأشكره وهو أهل حمد وثناء وأشهد أن لا إله إلا هو وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله ومصطفى اللهم صل وسلم على عبدك ورسولك محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم. Alhamdulillah bil alamin. We thank Allah Almighty. We can't thank Allah Almighty enough for the continued blessings that He sends to us so that we will not get hung up in this life. This life is just a temporary life. No one stays here. And so, in knowing that no one stays here, we must learn what it is that Allah Almighty wants to teach us while we're here. We're not just here for eating and drinking and sleeping and procreating. Allah Almighty there are animals that are here only for that, as an ornament to give the crown of creation, mankind, just something to view. It's a similitude of paradise. In paradise, there are so many different kinds of pleasures that Allah Almighty gave to us, so that we could always be in pleasure. And that's what paradise is, always to be in pleasure. Just to have sights, glitter, and to see beautiful things and to do beautiful things without feeling within our being the pleasure of the beauty and the goodness of things would not be paradise. And so Allah Almighty sent us here to see if we were going to keep that pleasure. When Allah created Adam and Eve, and He created Azazel, Shaitan's heart was not like Adam's heart. Adam, when Allah Almighty created Adam, He created Adam with His hands, not like hands like our hands, but meaning Allah fashioned him. Allah fashioned him to represent Him. Shaitan, Iblis, he wanted that position. He wanted to be number one. But he was not fashioned. He was not fashioned to be Allah Almighty's representative. How can you reach something if Allah Almighty has not given that potential in your being to reach? No matter what you do or what you say, you're never going to reach that you think that you should have. And Shaitan, since that time of learning that he could not take the place of Adam alayhi salam, he is still trying to be number one. All of the prophets, he challenged them. He challenged Adam, he challenged Moses, he challenged Abraham, he challenged Jesus, he challenged Muhammad, he challenged Yusuf. All of them he challenged. He challenged them with everything that he possibly could challenge them with. And over and over again, he came up short, realizing that he was inferior to them. Yet he is still. He asked Allah Almighty, oh Allah, to give him respite. In other words, he asked Allah Almighty, let me exhaust my greatest strength for as long as I possibly can, and I believe that at some point in time I am going to subdue them and prove my superiority. He thought improving his superiority was in doing. I'm going to do more than everybody else. He prayed everywhere, on every level. He studied everything. He's a scholar. There's no knowledge that he doesn't know. And yet, Allah is still telling him every 120,000 years to bow down to Adam. And yet we ourselves take on that same nature. He was so envious that he could not understand how Allah Almighty arranged his creation in ranks. And those ranks those are stations for us to come through to go to other stations. Out ignorance, he never realized that Allah had a high station for him. And he tells him, if you submit your will to Adam, then I will give you your rank back plus more ranks. To him, it means that he is still inferior to Adam. No matter how high his ranks are given, he still feels he is inferior to Adam. And we do the same thing. When Allah Almighty sent the prophets to the people, they felt themselves superior to the prophets. And so they persecuted them. Some of them they killed. They actually killed them because they refused to accept them. They were emperors, they were kings and queens. They were sultans who said, I am not going to accept some Bedouin, some poor person. The Bani Israel people had lost everything and they wanted to fight Goliath, and they asked the prophet Samuel to pray to Allah to send someone. And when they saw that Allah was sending Talut, a peasant, they says, what is it? He don't nobody even know him. He has no wealth. He has no prestige. Look at this. These are also beings, human beings, the sons and daughters of Adam and Eve, whom Allah Almighty sent here with everything. Here they are not seeing and not knowing that Allah is the greatest. They're not seeing it in themselves, and they're not seeing it outside of themselves. And so only because of the wealth and the prestige and the position that they have, they're only seeing their superiority in that. This was a sheep herder, and they always ask for evidence. Never like hear and obey. Show me your evidence. Show me a miracle. Some of the people are in the deepest part of the hellfire would be people that saw miracles. The disciples that saw that Esau ibn Maryam, he bought the table spread, and Esau said, okay, if Allah brings this table spread, if you don't believe after that, you're going to be in the lowest of hellfires. And yet they left him. They left him. And that's why when Allah Almighty took him to himself, there was no one to carry on the gospel of Jesus. There were writings. Barnabas had writings, but they killed Barnabas because he stood up for Esau ibn Maryam, Jesus Christ.